to be praise you more. Fellows of Fusuko no. It is my job to throw light on a nearby ekoswa, man phone be brain one tiasie. And that is exactly what I am going to do. A year ora Rikopoku Bekachire say PMMC Aboka. And ne yebechira mu PMMC omo 2024. A year state-owned enterprises report omo release here by Siga. Se omo boka na omo moka and ye de bechire. GoldBod ye jina wonu a yebesa di nkomo afa Sammy Gyamfi ho. Sammy Gyamfi GoldBod no che a year cases mako 17. Say yachi omo se omo smuggle good. And a pair Sammy Gyamfi report e wo GoldBod ho no. Wasi wajai cases ni mako 12. Oh yeah na ayi domi market for no yes 12 the other idea they see here. Wa mu kwachi wa mna gold nka na omo yeso there be say ayi makola for ma no ye no omo yeso we be hwe na bibi fa chire nam se there be Sammy de won yesa won tie na emom ye be chirim ama manfo no atiase. But let me quickly mame enka sa asem we yentie sa owura we owura yentie no 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 yentie no yentie owura Paul Yandoh. I don't know why the 1 2 3 1 2 3. Oh, sorry. So yentie owura we.
Ebia de kono okoto honhom de ni bi. What you say?
Well, God, there Sammy Gyamfi say they made profits. In fact, a transactional between Bank of Ghana and GoldBod, but GoldBod the Jumedia or yeah, it can be anywhere.
Oh, media means Sammy Gyamfi min kaso aboka. Media means na baby an kaso aboka or a young guy. Ye man opportunity, no nya adwuma. Enya fe na ye ba bedum ni bia. What you say? Ye dum ni jan na dum ni china. Onyere no ho nya adwuma na God adwuma de ne ye dey. Unse honhom semu di God wachi. What you say? Ebi ode kono, ebi yirai. Ebi ode kono, okoto honhom de ni bi. What you say? Ene no efiri mu amana anso. Anase obi ekoka no tokwa ne bi hwie gu ye. Anase shape we de kono. Ene bi eye ehwie gu we. Ndi God aduma ho nsam edoso papa pa menuaba. Ye ka se ye ka enyewe. Ti so wa say wo mo ka ni we ye nyina ya giatum. Ya de ebeka bi ne onya adwuma. Na mom ye nyina ye wo ha.
Paul, why Paul, God, there Sammy Gyamfi say they made profits. In fact, a transactional between Bank of Ghana and GoldBod, but GoldBod the Jumedia or yeah, it can be anywhere.
Oh, media means Sammy Gyamfi min kaso aboka. Media means na baby an kaso aboka or a young guy. Ye man opportunity, no nya adwuma. Enya fe na ye ba bedum ni bia. What you say? Ye dum ni jan na dum ni china. Onyere no ho nya adwuma na God adwuma de ne ye dey. Unse honhom semu di God wachi. What you say? Ebi ode kono, ebi yirai. Ebi ode kono, okoto honhom de ni bi. What you say? Ene no free mu amana anso. Anase obi ekoka no tokwa ne bi hwie gu ye. Anase shape we de kono. Ene bi eye no ehwie.
The leadership of MPP minimum uncommon. I think it is high time, sir. And there may be a cause within the party. I must not be tolerated at any shape or form. And this guy called Paul Yandoh must be called to order. Sebin Preduasa, I will restrain myself, but Jimino Adolsododo. Forgive me for using that word, but that is the only word that made me aka. But when I say Jimino Adolsododo, it is not even about say Obeka says Sammy Gyamfi yadia no nyadia. I don't care. People must have opinions, different opinions within a political party. So even his opinion, say Osusu say Sammy Gyamfi, he should be able to express it without any fear or favor. That is okay. But what is not acceptable and what is not okay? And this is your political party more. Now all of a sudden, party ane eya akono. Party ana your friend or a crutch for party. And they within the rank and file of NPP no. So we pay comedian within the political space. You don't call any mean a person. And yes, serial caller now friend. You are calling the communications director of the NPP in no mean a region as Ashanti region. And he has become a symbol of comedy. And the leadership of the party don't see anything wrong with it. Look at from top of NDC to down. NDC or your officer Bena Obiena no no kasa. The only thing that people can come up with, yes, yes, communications officer of the NPP in Ashanti region. And now said Panwa be a symbol of comedy within the Ghanaian political space. Opesa we ye comedy appear stadium to way or ye comedy for political sake in the and he is surviving, he is okay. But you cannot occupy a position as Asante Regional Communications Director of the New Patriotic Party. And anytime you better on our radio and TV so then it's about concert. Yafro Asante Regional Communications Director, National Discourse, Brabe Kabi. Akawoka say it should be clear with the direction the nation is going. What did you know that the concert? And I go to no home bonia juma, and I go to na bay forum, so they couldn't be here. You don't do research, you don't do anything. Gradually making the MPP look like a laughing stock as a party. Go and do comedy in Ghanaian politics. It is okay, but you cannot hold a political office such as a communications director of the NPP in Ashanti region and be what you are doing. Ni Afre Ashanti Regional Communications Director of the party. Brabeka bi ni ye the direction of mine echo. And look at the concert he's doing. And nobody sees anything wrong with this. And such a character says he wants to be the Ashanti Regional Secretary. Ashanti Region, no, the churo for MPP, no, the stronghold, no, the churo for no, a symbol of comedy in Ghanaian politics. For Yandoh, why the way this will be an one worker or your concert to sell? I never know. And you might time any party no. Now what you want to say na FF Phantom ye party no Ashanti Region ke be wa kono am join. Yafro as communications director of the NPP in Ashanti Region. Me hu ye kwa ye research. Oba and you speak to issues. And the NPP a drum pempen so concert nko. First, you can't him therefore party, you can't party and crofo con doso mobile join ya MPP, and then we are struggling to even get tertiary institutions because you allow kwasi somehow over the years. Ashanti Regional Communications Director, friend radio so say Brabeka political and some way can Brabeka be. When you wire research, one man who communication a directorate, a poorly resources amount. You speak to fact, you speak to points. What the other concert here? And the about you saying Yandoh, what is this? Yet meet na kuroma say mani drum pempen suobia. See a obi oba be concert to Ghanaian politics in a whole chairman of Ashanti region. Chama bompaya maye Toriak. Etika ono kra na ye mistake here. Communications director the Nkaoba, you speak to issues with common sense. I'm a party in your party. Now the middle class don't even want to associate themselves with MPP. Party do baby na Professor Kwakwaza amodia wo mo kon do so mo be join the party. We MPP ni che Kwakwaza. We MPP ni che HKC prempe. But nyoma kan ni nyoma tan say ya mujama leadership on the yes yes wo ye communications director of Ashanti region. Now your friend radio so concert nko, and gradually he is becoming the image of the party within the region. And you want the youth of the party, the youth of Ghana to join such a party? Maybe na Ghana mine nipa no bebre nko school nti, the logical reasoning wasn't that high. O hwe nim dia for party, FF Antomo party, Chema Mankwamo party. Na say no mba be ye concert wa Ashanti region aka wo Yandoh so wanka ebe ye ofam wa ba be bi. E de be na mo ye ne sa na de be no. If you want to do this kind of concert, Obian stop your politics is yours, but you cannot occupy that position you occupy and be doing what you are doing. And such a character says, I want to be the next secretary of the Yabobo Adamu Anadiebeya. Now Ababe secretary of Ashanti region, MPP. Na ye pe comedian wo Ghanaian politics amena ka asema mi asra ni akofre secretary of Ashanti. What kind of a joke are we entertaining in our party like that? And here dey no. Our concert be no. And the leadership of the party menu akodu amotu one amahwe akwa we so yes concert. Party ni mu ye ho nya akono sisi. Ye bompa ye say ye betimi a reason ama manfo no ko ado. Ni afra be can national issues. The issues of national concern, a whole Ashanti regional communication, TNC Muna Walker.
But do my home some edos, papa, miniaba. You can see a car anyway. See, so I say, what more can we? Ya jatu, ya dear Becca bin there. On your Juma, the Momina Yawaha.
Paul, 1 year, Dano Mitia Brown, you're not saying the best performing CEO, the Nkaya Sammy Gyamfi. What best performing CEO, Yahweh?
Sammy Gyamfi.
Now, best.
Oh,
any GoldBod, but GoldBod, the Jumedia or any day, it can be anyhow.
Oh, media means I mean, if you mean Castle Aboka, media means baby and Castle Aboka or a young guy, your man opportunity, no near Juma, and you're afraid now, you're baby doom ya. What you say, you doom ni Jan and doom ni China. Only no one year Juma, go dear Juma, dear, nay, day. Who's home, some would be good with it. What you say, every day corner, a be right.
What nonsense of is that any idea no. And this is supposed to be the Ashanti Regional Communications Director of the MPP. Say ebi a ode ba no ekoto honhom ebi a ode ba no ebi to pumu na any idea no. Why are we turning our party into a joke? President Kufuor party na wode oti Ashanti region ho sebi predu say Jimmy sa na de be no. Ya na ya adwen say party in baby abedu some of the things we probably won't say it in public. And we you be afen ye nyina yesere. And the party gradually is losing its image. Motu ana mu blame HKC prempene Franklin Kujumo ne HKC prempene say Professor Azam say omo nka bi mamo. How can one become be mamo when mu behave tantansi? Now mo sorry amu de money bra kosue who communications director want me research and speak to issues. Now sorry anamu de money bra kosue Professor Kwaku Azaso. So 1 year ye tua Professor Kwaku Azamoka. See ye tua Professor Kwaku Azamoka nti no maka omanu atuma. Ni ye ntia ba mu 8 years. Ada no man hwe omo. Ye de say you gina hensa so wonya say adwuma no. Enye ne yire no one ne kokoma ne gi ho ajapade nyina. As a party ni hwe so fo no bia ye de wo pe. Onyonkon so te ho. Wo ba ya wo bu amamuo. Ken Ofori Attah. Ken baby a wo de ade na mu wo gu party nanimu ase. Wo gu party nanimu ase. Wo gu party nanimu ase. Eti ken Dani wonsa anasa resign. Men resign tintintiniti. Men resign tintintiniti. No jina faako. Can Ofori resign na party no baby MPs mago afa dia mintimi nya me ma ho. Untimi nya ma ho na de wagya o makoro no ho akwa buruchiri. Say ya ne ya che okura ne ade a wo ye papa nko anim nte. Ah? Ya che ne yegu nko anim asia. The fact that you have refused to even to come and answer to your questions, it goes ahead to dent the image of the MPP as though MPP are Kronfo party. Mo ye ka kire mo. Enya matan time be na mo ye ne sa no. A wo bia nsuro bia wo. Ya ne ya adwene se party no enema bo. Ba nema bo wo a ese mpanimfo timi sebre wo mano ka. Se kono Ofori Attah wabu man no yie na wa ye nema na wo nwia ya. Bra be yi wa no keke. Eno so akoye bo achi bi di. Go party n'anim asesa. Go party n'anim asesa wo bia ntimi nka no kore. Ama MPP party ne nya kono bio. Adai. Ah, ede nneɛma na moyɛ ne saa no. Adai. Wabu amamuo papa bra ne beyi wano. Ne ntimi build the confidence in the party against ye buy ni ya mewia obia. Afena entetente na me ma na me yare na. Wo yare a wani masuaso akora kufu e ka say resign. When you must when it was so visible, so we are. You can't say resign or resign. Never moment nipa ho tete because party no mon care about them. Benya from nyina manya wi. Ana nchirima na mom yebre. Ese MPP party ni nya akono. Middle class of the country ni person be join the MPP. Cause of say bi nioma hunu tantan a Paul Yandoh ene ne nkrofo say wuntumi ye the whole region ya shawonsa. Wo be a symbol of comedy. Mini go in channel, no you go that table so, and nobody could tell him, say, hey, my friend, we don't do that in this party. Mo de mommy anto presidential abaninwie. Me ana my din say, sa presidential abano, me person may part of it in ye jan. Yanto presidential abaninwie. Ni enhwe say mo na mo be choose leaders and I say we the youth will choose the leaders for you. We the masses, we the grassroots, we will choose the leaders. Ashanti region will be a bema when you cook and cooperate near where we should see kakwa. Cause ye penny munyam or party no. Ashanti region nanka secretary no one menya magi say, but Paul Yandoh can never be the secretary of Ashanti region. And him go assemble no. Mo man yasebri ya no kan okura o party na party ne yaye tan. Enya akono. Yeso son ne mafunu tantan so. Why in the way in this more kasa to say Paul Yandoh? Tell me one person. From a chairman to the last person. Tell me one single person who hold the office within the end this year or be another kasa and people laugh like Paul Yandoh. What nonsense is that? Mama, you move on. Now to the issue of a year GoldBod. Ura Sammy Gyamfi, ye still a yejina ho, ye say Ghana to me be a new ho, so suma will be a son to go to mre. And when I have made a legitimate argument, an argument that is absolutely clear, na me nyam krofo bi say wo mo nu mo educate Afrifa on the law simply because me di twi na kire mu ma so for line for na force for na tiase. So they say they educating me on the law. So one argument and say, yeah, one say, yes, under section 26 and 27, there is licensing of aggregators. So because we license here, automatically that licensing transcends into so we agent of the state. How did we get here? Does the GoldBod Act allows for licensing of aggregators? Yes. Does the Act allows for a year funding, handing over the state money to aggregators? No. Does he allow them so by turning them into a purchasing agent of the republic? No. The law is loud, the law is clear, and the law is binding. Already section 3, as section 3 is stated the core function of GoldBod, which is non-delegable. Because man fabrofo ametra keka nchire munti. You think you know the law more than I do? Section 3.2 says automatically, GoldBod has the sole authority to purchase and sell gold from miners other than any large-scale mining. Very clear, very unambiguous. It's a sole authority. It means an exclusive jurisdiction. It means non-transferable jurisdiction. It's a GoldBod into me appointing any private company say on Konkoto. Almost a Koko section 26, 27. It is a Okatakyie Afrifa near say Santiago na yesi wi amoase me na metonwa ewo ho nyina obi ani tumi so otonwa obi ani tumi so otonwa. It is the idea of license and say enam say me no ametonwa ne mintimi enko ye ade ni friend say enko sesa nwa no by myself nti yes ye ne he exp0ses say Okatakyie metimi asesa nwa ne biabo me say no problem okosesa bi ba beto. The difference between exp0ses biba meto, which is licensing, and the entire license under section 26 and 27 is for regulatory purposes, regulatory function. It does not automatically transcend into a physical and as a financial function. It is a exp0ses who kwa kohwehwe bi dia bremia. Eno nyame masebe. The only reason TML licensing is the modalities within which SO operates and one hour walk of Fabano. Someone essay yet essay titia, essay. It's a licensing crofosed by your regulatory or more activities within the space. But the very moment I may mimbotum sikadia suma exp0ses as a coffee, konne kokoto a young wabremeno. It creates what we call a principal and agent relationship, for which liability will lie in the event that there's any encumbrances. And I sit there and I make a coherent argument to this effect. And you tell me, sir, until the air cost on us. It is so better me a license will be. Oko hwehwe bi ba meto. Oko hwehwe bi ba na meto na wo na so obi yakronfo ji usika ekwamwa. Emfa me ho. Because man fa misika ma wo. But the very moment I be take state in sika dia mo obi say, kwane koto brand, if there is any encumbrances, liability will lie on the state. Osementi we yase. Onti ase hedi ntina anti ase. When the law wanted to fund any activity within the GoldBod Act, Section 31E was very clear on who gets funding. It says that it shall provide funding for small-scale miners in the form of equipment. The act is very direct. It supports miners, not aggregators, not middlemen, not politically selected companies. So nobody should come and sit here and say we do not understand it because Section 26 and 27 says licensing. On one Sammy Gyamfi no beko akotie. Say worker said there is no license in this country. We get the benefit of aggregators because the law did not contemplate funding of aggregators. It is the creation of Sammy Gyamfi and the GoldBod, which is an illegality, which is a crime being perpetrated on the people. Section 25.2 talks about funding for minors, not you can't say. And you tell me, so until the year can I say, what kind of arrogance of power is this? Because we do not go around behaving like bourgeois class, some disappointed Europeans who speak all the big English in tea. Maybe say what nonsense the act was very clear on who is a beneficiary. Minors. It does not need any interpretation. Funds are supposed to, if in the contemplation of the framers of the act, they wanted to fund aggregators, they would have been very direct and very clear under funding. When GoldBod gives our money to an aggregator before the gold is delivered, that is not support, that is not policy, that is illegality. mo de brofo ne ade ne hwehwura manfo na as though as a mudi ade ane hwan. Lord man kwa nkosu asem pese me lawyer. That is not the purpose for me entering into law school. Yentie Sammy Gyamfi, yentie no.
Ability criteria for the aggregator license in 2025. That is why Bower Rock is the only person as at now to have been licensed as an aggregator of the GoldBod. But that license application and approval process that the board of GoldBod, the governing board of GoldBod does, not Sammy Gyamfi as CEO. Sammy Gyamfi as CEO and management only recommends. The board grants approval for aggregator license. That process is an ongoing process. It has not terminated. So today we can have one aggregator. Tomorrow we may have 0 because we can even revoke his license or suspend his license. Tomorrow we can have 10 because 10 people can meet our eligibility criteria. So people say, Bawa is the only one buying gold. They don't understand. They lack information. We have 900 licensed buyers, all of whom buy gold. Then they say, why is he only the aggregator? He's the only aggregator because he's the only one who has met the eligibility criteria. Let me tell you something. When we say an aggregator, what do people understand by that? There is nothing, there is no license in Ghana that enjoys the benefits of an aggregator license. Some say, have you heard? That is why Bower Rock is the only person as at now.
There is no license in this country that enjoys the benefit of an aggregator license. So NPA license will be a NPA and the finance many panel. How does licensing automatically transcend into financing? The only reason it is so under GoldBod is because it is a creation of Sammy Gyamfi and the GoldBod, which is an illegality. Now I'm making argument to where to what. Before I make the argument, I have looked at comprehensively what the law says. If within the ambit of the law wanted to say fund you, within the purview of the law, if the law wanted to fund aggregators, the law would have been very direct. Sammy Gyamfi no crofo create system wa omodi ye sika mu obi no magic akra nchobu no omodi. And you say Mabeka say GoldBod no won suma obi aso onkoto. Yes, GoldBod doesn't send anybody say koto breme. Or license so wow ko hwe bi na hwe bi ba dia meto. Just so the yemfa ye sika ma enti wo ko no bibi to ko amu anu nye yasem. Because licensing is just a regulatory function and your finance and your free. Sammy Gyamfi me kire yemra wo gina so odi sika ma obi foforo so nkoto ade yemre. In the event class, unu obi co-contractor. Emrano was very clear, so unu obi co-contractor. Say any panel publish it. The requirements in the Gazette. Where is the Gazette? Where are they published? Where published terms within the law? The way Section 27(2). It tells you where is it? Where is the legal basis for giving state money to aggregators? Does it exist? Yebusam question where you ask Okatakyie nte the ekosu Bank of Ghana and GoldBod no ase. Amemo kan amubu no na mementi ase na wana ti ase. Amemo no amubu amemo kan because me bana me bedi nkomo a me nkekeke kaborofo nti. Mos momo trim amemo no ase kyeme. Amemo be na mo ti ase. I chose to go down to the level of the people by using the analogy of a Goro boy. Because that is what so for life for Betias here. Even if you GoldBod wanted to enter into any such agreement, Section 42 says that for transparency's sake, you must publish the agreement to the Ghanaian people. As it stands in agreement in a way. One a Bower Rock agreement in a way. We also saw kwasiasam because Sammy Gyamfi ba show so ye kokko ye research near the ama Sammy Gyamfi. Na Sammy Gyamfi abetra no awatre. He is the communications officer of the NDC. Oba show so they pull out all manner of resources and research bia near the amano. No abetra no awatre. Or ratiri years you and Sammy Gyamfi abe to what nyoma ase e check at the Chief River. Nyoma be na ati ase. And you ben what here. The PMMC model na wo run here. Section 75 was very direct and very clear. by the coming into force of the GoldBod Act, Section 75 says that there is a repeal of the PMMC Act. So anything you do that seeks to rest on the model of PMMC is illegitimate, an illegality. I'm a trying to come from Timosi one your man why corner say. Niama bena moya mentiaze. Huh? In contemplation of Parliament, or more passing manano, or man kasi yamfiesi kan komubia. Kunya journey arrogance of power saying fine he could see him because the law is very clear on this. Licensing aggregators is legal, yes. But delegating the state purchasing authority to the aggregators is illegal. Financing aggregators is illegal. Creating a principal agent relationship between the two is illegal. The arrogance of power na mo nya tumi kakra. Mo dwe se mo te de mo ye nyina ase. Ya ye tie kire ne yenti ase. Ade na mo ya yenti ase. Sammy Gyamfi to was what GoldBod for. Muntie no.
48 hours after announcing the end of a grace period for foreign nationals in the gold trade, GoldBod is cracking down. CEO Sammy Gyamfi says some foreign traders have defied the directive and now a 10-man Chinese syndicate operating from a private residence in Asankragua has been busted.
10 of them who were hiding somewhere in Asankragua in the western region. We're hiding in a private residence. So we got gold of about 1.3 kg. We got cash of about 1.3 million. So what they do is that they convert the money into casino cars. Casino cars we got, these are not all. We have a lot of them. These are not all. And when you see a casino card like this, it is money. And they are so important to them so that the casino cars were in this two huge safes that we can make available to you for you to photograph. And these are the pieces of the gold bars that we got from them. You can see that for them to have been able to convert the gold into this form, it means that they have a foundry.
Where Sammy Gyamfi, Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi say way. Any pan watch it you woman away. Sammy Gyamfi na do way by say GoldBod uncovers gold smuggling syndicate. And what him Mumusa no. Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi says any power with 3 suspect gold smugglers arrested omuway case in Akodri. Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi says national security arrest 25 of illegal gold trade case in Akodri. Sammy Gyamfi no GoldBod no. Ana wono atworo ha the second quarter report or the buy ana atworo ha the second quarter report. Wo hwe ba bia ya atworo legal cases in Asia. Also during the quarter, the legal directorate handled 17 criminal cases. Of the 17 criminal cases that were instituted, 12 of them were discontinued. Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi said, on what basis did he discontinue such cases? Huh? Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi said, on what basis did he discontinue such cases? Oh, yeah, domain market for man so Sammy ana where you boy, Sammy ana where you boy, because we be mono na you watch bidi. Nam so Sammy Gyamfi the unko bibia. But Mumusa Sammy Gyamfi say the reason here or they discontinue cases in the NSA. Na dressa mummy aso nkwa didi na fa he ko see he na GoldBod na Okatakyie nti. What kind of nonsensical arrogance of power is that? I mean, to a obi a mente administration, mente governance, ni leadership ase. Emamo, simply because I come and sit here and I make a tree. Make a tree because I'm a man for the betiase. Line up your finest brains within your party, any day, anytime. Not in any rehearsed portfolio. Let them meet me any day, anytime on any topic of their choice. And let's see if any of you will stand my intellectual firepower. You are creating the image say because me catch you in as a more pain and more pain and fire. A pain tie a bibni. A dear no. A baby. Sammy Gyamfi be ko interviewer. You pull all resources in there. A year you man no about the class. No rata. Yezo Sammy Gyamfi do abi you. Obey dear baby. Me na be communications officer of the NDC. And I be what the whole NDC communication machinery behind me. And there resources na me ntimi mpuli. Onfa mo nsem hunu so ho ne anwe ye ho. Se mo de brofo intimidating crofo okuru mo no. And here John Dramani Mahama. Me won so wo interview. Wonam wo je fans. Aka kire mo so wo tem adwene no ase. Efe your mama interview. Na man ya range jomfo man bi. No ma kujino ne eboje so. Fe. And you can say stand up. You are doing well. Because in politics, optics really do matter. Yadis kama yujia his wonye bien what they kodin simuno. Politics, perception is equally important as a reality. So if stand up when and crop forward the jomama agentia, omudis wamade jomama agentia. Because in the optics, the people will look at, the people will see and say he is loved. Yenya opportunity in see baby. Si muhunu nko na momo no yegusu ye biene fine before se me call the main point so me ka kire mo how Sammy Gyamfi enka no kore me ka kire mo how Sammy Gyamfi enka no kore and the last time me ka bibi ka kire mo say muntie sa audio muntie sa video
has been blocked. He's not allowed to participate in the process. Meanwhile, there is this Mr. Roger Frimpong Kwachi in the GoldBod operations, who also, has a connection with this kind of investigations by the OSP. If you appreciate what I just mentioned, and you have seen this, what's your explanation?
We see these things, but we don't respond because we are very busy people doing an important job for the nation. We don't have to. It's a joke. Listen, Roger Kwache is not licensed by the GoldBod to do anything. He's not a licensee of the GoldBod. Roger Kwache only consults for Bawarok. He works with Bawarok.
Okay, so
now this Roger Kwache.
So hold on. Sammy Gyamfi num was they said Roger Kwache, the so-called Roger Kwache, works for Bawarok. Tienye, ti Sammy Gyamfi. The so-called Roger Kwache, he works for Bawarok. On working, and this same Roger Kwache, no, if you are mature quiet for Sammy Gyamfi on Kanokore. And because he calmly submits what he submits, and then Chamon Turko, I know that and Tiboko. The same Roger Kwache Sammy Gyamfi says on Kanon, maybe I bet you one year. Muntie Sammy Gyamfi
is managing director for a company called GoldStrom. And GoldStrom was one of the aggregators under MIF's Gold for Reserve program. They were giving money. By the end of 2024, MIF wrote a demand letter to them that they had some outstanding payments to make. The company has paid MIF in full. And I've seen acknowledgement letters from MIF showing that GoldStrom has paid. Now, that one employee of the company is consulting for Bawarok, and that is an issue. A company that has not committed a crime, a company that is not under investigation, is not being prosecuted, has settled all its bills to MIF, and you're saying that its employee cannot work for a private company. So it is not as if Roger Kwache even works for the GoldBod or is licensed by the GoldBod. He has done nothing. That guy is a great resource. When you want to talk to somebody about gold trading in Ghana, he's one of the go-to persons. And I think that people should just stop this attitude of running people down with lies. It doesn't help anybody.
Okay.
Sammy Gyamfi a chapter with confidence. Sammy Gyamfi said the said Roger Kwache no one part of a GoldBod and a consultant for Bawarok. Just so you know there is a syndicate to steal from the people. This is a finance ministry. Inaugurated the technical team of your friend is GoldBod. Roger Kwache na esha asiye Roger Kwache. The finance team, a technical team of GoldBod. Roger Kwache and the D esha asiya. And then Sammy Gyamfi say Roger Kwache ne nyadwuma GoldBod. Such a character, you trust him? Where my Joe online report? Roger Kwache din esha asiye as part of the technical team of GoldBod. And the same person now, a technical team member of GoldBod, is also consulting for Bawarok. Is that no conflict of interest? Ye bie money emie. Ye bie money emie. You are falling in love with your oppressors to the point that when we are drawing your attention, say, you are being oppressed in a very nice way. Must ye mie yeni. Ye mie yeni. Na Sammy Gyamfi wo twa motro kura mu so twa motro. Sammy Gyamfi say ayi Roger Kwache enye part of when you ma GoldBod na consult ma Barrock. Meanwhile, this same Sammy Gyamfi, Roger Kwache, was share mu finance ministry aboni din so were part of a technical team of GoldBod. And mom see be money. Now, mom see be money dia. Made them be my public announcement, madama. We hwa no bia ne ma meko. Hwa no bia ne ma meko. One meko aye wa wasemwa. Because the American bia ne ye no kore. Etu ne meko aye wa wasemwa. One meko a jo Mahama ba ye wo ginchia. Ba ya de papa wo ginchia. Ai jo Mahama mo se Manuel. Wiase nyina jo Mahama ai we John dear. We need size. Your mama need size o. Ti wo call radio interview. Kama. Mo say mano. Why? Your mama ba ye say me no work say. Transformation bagana. Yes sir. 1 year on no galamsey na jai. So say joy yes wo ba obey you su. Artificial intelligence. Where May 2024, I will use artificial intelligence to fight galamsey. It is a meno say, John, I use artificial intelligence. He say galamsey showing ni at wine. He say illegal mining is now a myth. Nigana come. 1 year down the lane, your mama wa man showing ni at wine. 1 year down the lane. Your mama buy and double track ni nyina free ho. Akufo the double track no na enye na bon no. Kan your mama buy we sisi dan akese 1 year. Wa to blog 1 year just a double track ni nyina ya no great e free ho. Ti emo ye nsema your mama. Your mama buy ye Sam George LGBT. Some kai Sam George. And then Sam George no anu fight say LGBT ni ade no. And then Sam George LGBT mumusa say away Sam George way. And that LGBT no hwe so obu ni sisi.
Attah, you go hold the waist, Shake your waist, shake your waist. Your waist, shake your waist. Shake your waist, shake your waist. Your waist, shake your waist. Better, a lot of way.
Eti your mama buy ye shake your waist. He say LGBT no was sign bill no one pe omanim kura hwe. Poof, ekọ. He say so source nyina twam. Contract nyina transparent kama. GoldBod die transparent kama. Your mama buy ye wa appointing ni nua bia wa ba mu. No family, no friends, bibia ni ho. Your mama buy ye neutral senkwa. In spirit from a year, a yibumfa. Na memo no ni nua bia anim. Your mama buy ye okuje trouble akwa aye ni true say mirror of justice. Okachire ye say won benya 21 billion. Okuje trouble akwa so won benya 21 billion. Ora na ba ora. Ene okuje trouble akwa mo agiska ni nyina ora. Ene ye ni abreke no Ofori Attah mai ken ko an skani nyina won ho. Na aside ken Ofori Attah no menim se sedinam temakulu no ya nchene for corruption ya. Na waban a waba wo so wo ba be fight corruption. Na nti sa aban no wo se what discontinue cases of a year Collins Dauda. What discontinue cases of a year Opuni. What discontinue cases are ya find prima facie case against them. Was what discontinue cases. And what just aban need so wo ba fight corruption. 1 year down the lane. Ora na 20 billion amaye. No receipt, no audit. but the money is somewhere, probably in the same vote, the Ark of Covenant to Gumuno. Sana Oro Anaji Sikamai. Come. Your mama buy and be beer than Aquem. Your mama buy a year 24-hour economy na started youth unemployment, a poof. Morning shift, evening shift, midnight miracle. Just say, they say, Nkola year Juma wa mabre. A bit me year Juma kwa no peri and you made no mabre. A bit me, a dika munina. Omo because eso run shift 1 year 24-hour economy. A year Juma, come. Attack on journalists and so a jai. Your mama, prices of goods and services, said your mama buy and $1 ne kosuru. It prices of goods and services and so perform as they say kenke gakomi you turn 1 cedi. Gari olonka 1 cedi. A liter of oil 2 cedi. Transportation from Pokwasi to Accra they say 1 cedi. Ninyina bibia ye kama. They say Kwame Nkrumah and Sammy Kurano wa ye nani aje kama Kwame Nkrumah busa say hey where does my anya real? Kwame Nkrumah sama anya real. Sammy Gyamfi electricity no a user of Deben tariffs no a wo mode ba no. Sammy Gyamfi ese aba ese electricity no enrane. E se ba omia meters ni nyina ye twetwam. Sammy Gyamfi de no ode aba no utimi use na wa bre no afre ECG for say ECG mesera mo me light na esi so dodo ntimu num no why ise branche ni nyina nya adwuma ye nurses fo nya adwuma yo teacher fo nya adwuma ye graduate fo unemployed graduate bia ni ba bi ha obia ye employed mesera mo bibia sam jo mama bayi bibia economic liberation waba na yenko tie eye ono ankasa ne nkrofo anu asem owura Franklin Kujo let me state here that video na ye bebo no there is some niema bia entwe Franklin Kujo health wise we don't care about that. That is not why we are here. Nemo jo mama memwo ne ekoyi eti Franklin Kujo wono no ese water jo mama echi no wasi owura no kura de say ya gisika nyina yenkonko ti Franklin Kujo. Franklin, what am I saying?
We're promoting Aura. We're the ones who actually raise all our hopes, right? And so our hopes have been raised, and now we are. And I don't think we've matched the. We've matched the not rhetoric. We've matched the reality as against expectations, and I worry because you see, going into next year, look, the government needs to. People will start complaining, and I think the complaints will become a lot more if they don't see quick prosecutions. I worry greatly that we are moving at a very slow pace and things are not happening. Of course, certain cases are being seen and heard, but I suspect that there'll be a lot of firepower coming through the heads of the various, should I call it the Attorney Generals of it. And maybe, you see, what I also thought should have been done, I suspect that maybe this is what the Attorney General should actually do. Maybe they should actually recruit a lot more, should I call them?
Franklin Kujo say, Neniaji, and I just know Kawangaza. Was you were a phone ediskey? Franklin now was saying your men moving so slow than you were expecting. 1 year down the lane, your team will be uncle court on corruption issues within the Akufo-Addo government. And no more divert more attention to Ofori Attah na ice acheno. Na ice achena ice in would deport no aba say, "Wo you unko fight wo case." Never nema. We so obuafu. Make us a your mama ya de no so obuafu. Obufu a ho efise de me de kire wo nyina ye nioma a wonyeye. Amemu no eye kew na taban. Na theatrics in the doso. Me say Akufo-Addo by first year. Why you say ya? Me shall say me kaso happy for so. And our time Akufo-Addo no yes. Maintain your mama maintain away. When I see the realities of government as opposed to what the optics shows, I need to be able to tell the people that it is up to nothing because I see the nuclear. Yes, the CD is strong against the dollar. A knee-jerk reaction to solving issues. I can tell. I can see if there is any international shocks. if there are any external shocks, the economy will crash down. Because in a long-term solution to problems. Knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk. But the better than for no atlas. If you say, Mahama, a co-interview, man and fans. And I'm saying, stand up by Juma, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Yenya be now or that him for someone shouting Chiame. Ewa better when him say politics in one. And politics, optics do matter. It is a LGBT was signed. Doom so yeti kroma say ayi woba ye wo say e-levy enyenyenyenyenyenye woda ne ho an okofa doom so levy buy ama e say yen kan wasem bi ye refi say wo the doom so levy aba ayi akoya your friend say abranti akoya no kitikiti feleso fusu kwache wo the doom so levy aba yen kan wasem your mama ti kroma say wo say o e-levy nye ayi sports betting tax o say de nye we betting tax if you an okofa sports ho ahwan buy. Galamse so ni nyina je say yenti arise Ghana for. Na we eye wo mo ankase wo nipa arise Ghana ni NDC for. He will be obey arise Ghana be we NDC ni. J ne eye listo one na puku NDC for. Arise Ghana be any baby a. Na yenti aje yenti no.
Of Galamse. I think we've been very clear in the past that it's an existential threat to all Ghanaians, including those of us seated here and those of you who are broadcasting. We would expect that the president continues with the good work that they are doing, not only with the GoldBod, because note, if there's no incentive to go and dig, no one will mine. If the GoldBod stops the smuggling of gold and aggregating of gold is done, our economy will improve and Galamse will stop. And we believe that the president will not and must not shield anyone. We want to also entreat the Speaker of Parliament, who has indicated that he will not shield any Galamse MPs, to take his word and mean it and act upon it. Oral is Operation Recover all the loot and not some of the loot. And so we would want all the loot to be recovered. But we've listened to the Ghanaian people. We continue to listen to the Ghanaian people. So you will join us when we go to the American Embassy.
Operation Recover all loot to be to allow recover all loot to be. All loot to be. Mobile more recover the here. Meanwhile, no more be a real Ghana sika. Monchichi wamungum. MPP is not a breeding grounds for criminals, and it is very clear. It is will be a real Ghana sika. Monchichi wamungum. Namunya a court of public opinion. If the member will be no obedient as about Ghana sikem, ebe real Ghana sika we no see because of joining MPP. Tiamra me defending will be undefendable. Then so munya court of public opinion na ye di cases in war a ye medium na mon form court. Won't prove it beyond reasonable doubt because these are criminal cases. I just say a tron dorsal, kill net 7 dorsal. Now yet to come say ma a year Ura John Domani Mahama catches a kufa do abino 110 ministers one bida. It was not buying about where you lean government. Lean government dear, or Baba ye Nioma come. 1 year, 110 ministers. Edi John Mama John Ufa say was over 57 ministers. Yamu and Samuel, shia. Or Dan and Yano whisper good Julius Debrasum. Hey Jay, profound your montiasiu. Eti, and everybody wa Fabra, na fan sure yen changing the dino. Say by ya montiasi. Ampa na Papa Jay so the court. Papa J koya no na ya change bidin ebine say wafa Ashanti region wafa all regional ministers and so wafa deputy regional ministers because onya akobo omudin so omo ye deputy regional ministers pe nemom de obey ni so obesesa omudin every deputy regional ministers no aka say presidential staffers in charge of the region into all the 16 regions, you know. Or the party in organizers are presidential staffers in charge of the region. Our muji pay equally as deputy ministers. It is from the inception of this republic, I can be who salaries of chief of staff, and son about cabinet ministers, presidential, senior presidential advisors. Your mama ba ye was say one shut down two mudi advisor. Hey, Miami no to kono see. Utimi mano a year presidential special diabe to agric near a substantive agric minister na waba ye Congo dini be 24-hour economy ya muti. Your mama instead of appointing a minister in charge of 24-hour economy because it was a major policy of John Mahama's campaign. Or kase ye minister there and we ya mobecheno. Eti mobekanya ka ministers no honya sa eti ene ye be friend say Owura Gusitano a presidential advisor on 24-hour economy. Ti aboy en semama no owo 57 ministers. John wo nice. The moment on to the minister in charge of 24-hour economy, presidential advisor in charge of 24-hour economy. We are appointed presidential advisor. Jomama appoint Owura Francis Dodu as presidential advisor, national anti-corruption program. You were a interior minister. You were national security minister. You were a attorney general. Corruption no see ebe fight here. Say institutions when here. Instead so bebo we din so ye minister no say there be me boni din so ye minister. On bekan aka ho. Etia na me friend national anti-corruption program. A presidential advisor. The moment pay no, it will be the same as that of minister, cabinet minister. Presidential advisor be equated to that of cabinet minister. And so your mama so one friend sa, or friend sa mubache no. Your mama says of onya friend deputy minister sa mubache. Eti the SY say quickly. Your deputy chief of staff. Mienu. In fact, omuya miensa so kura no. And you another Setekwe a presidential advisor. Nana Yajanto a presidential advisor. Beatrice one year presidential advisor. Just who could do communication wing of a year the presidency. One year the 60. Obi GP. As Uncle Fuko, we are deputy ministers. Your mama saw him from deputy ministers. And the lean government now soon a fruit docoche. Cabinet level salaries in a sound of way tiki. And so your mama saw nya from ministers and deputy ministers. Mobile one from ministers and deputy ministers. Senior presidential advisor for governmental affairs, Dr. Valerie Soya, and also advisors for the economy, national anti-corruption, diaspora affairs, Nina ho. And son Wenyaba at the office of the vice president. Vice President and also another 5 policy advisors. Vice President no Honkwa. President need decline so be appointed deputy regional ministers because he abetcheno. And so appointed 16 presidential staffers. Omunyana deputy ministers. One more say deputy minister. Me say Kionet aban bia no echen aban we. Minister in charge of agribusiness wo ho. Ani asa abom yanga se menua Peter Boa mo toku no na nka me no a wonya atumi won frame hwe director of presidency also responsible for agriculture and agribusiness. So this is not efficiency. This is duplication. This is duplication of jobs. But wonya yes hape mo beche no. Tie no wonye. Wonya bo omudi so mo presidential ministers am beche no. Into your 1 presidential advisor on media, your 1 communications consultant, your 4 directors of communication, 5 deputy directors, your 2 communication specialists, 5 technical communication assistants, 1 media aide, an assistant media liaison officer. Entering a basin in Jomama and teaming for a list of a presidential staffers at the Jubilee House, when teaming for Parliament in Kolei. And these are the pertinent issues that I want to draw your attention to. Beyond the pump and pageantry, these are the pertinent issues I want to draw your attention to. Nobody is paying attention. Huh? And so your mama by was scheduled to terminate a year appointment of Uncola Bebre. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We are said there is no NPP Ghana, there is no CPP Ghana, there is no NDC Ghana. Or Cambro Fuchira. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the way in Fakwan. na nke to oman mu am yadru eye end of the year all of a sudden aban also oba ye na kufu ado arane oman ne down a wonni sika hwi ni ho oba betu ohia buburo waso oba betu ohia buburo now yenkonkohwe de ato forcing ato a war force woni the same Sammy Gyamfi ya yenkonkohwe it ye be confronting the painful truth here domain market for man no momra meti afeso ye no ato forcing oh ya wo dollar no ya wo cedi no ya wo dollar ya wo cedi ya wo ne nyina chi ewie no die ntia nkrofo antimi amadwomu ameto de oma ne se teacher fo na anka ebe abetue omu ka omu usu nyame na meka me wi amebo teacher fo no akiro we live in a country where the pocket is dry, the stomach is empty, and somehow no miraculously yetiminya finance minister ya ayi keselato forcing yes wo che wo ye the new ye philanthropist generosity wo che mo say wa na wo che mo che sika wo che mo che sika wo amfa nko ayi hospitals wo amfa nko schools wo amfa nko nurses na ni nyina no wo de koye politics iti hwamu no de koma wo. You see 200 bags of rice every constituency, 276 constituency. Kesel ato forcing eche omo 200 bags of rice. Oma ya etim. Owi eniyama NDC constituency chairman bia 5,000 Ghana cedi. Owi eniyama NDC constituency executive bia across the nation 270 no per the structure no omo ya more than 15. Yama each and every one of them 2,000 Ghana cedi. And when you small money, you breaking it down what you say. Yema obia 2,000 Ghana cedi. Yema a year chairman 5,000. Yes, is can you. It is a 200 bags of rice, and the chair constituency be 200 bags them 276 constituencies. Mwangasa monya mu calculation. Mwangasa monya mu calculation. Mwangasa 276 times a year 200 bags. So as a matter of fact, Keselato forcing what 55,200 bags of rice this Christmas. It is a way calculation average libiano bag of rice acquire 700 Ghana cedi. Yanya calculation we. If bag of rice is 700 Ghana cedi times 55,200 bags. Omanya isi eniska yentimi ntua teacher foka yentimi ntua nurse foka yese Keselato forcing che bags of rice 200 bags per constituency. It is a way of calculation 700 bags 700 Ghana cedi per bag. What they multiply a year 55,200 a year. Your friend say 55,200 bags times a year 700 Ghana cedi. It is a meno woka say a monk to force a chair this Christmas in the name of philanthropy to the party executive. A year 38.6 million. Mumusa to force is when you scan away. Mumusa to forcing so omu opposition you know or nyasi can away. And son waba 5,000 na in the chair constituency bia so 5,000 Ghana cedi. We have 5,000 Ghana cedi times a year 276. That gives you about 1.38 million Ghana cedi. And sana every executive biano, your chair no a year, 80 party executives across board. And no say it amounts to if 15 times 2,000 Ghana cedi. It amounts to about 8.2, that is 8.3 million Ghana cedi. The political generosity, no, costed Ghana over 48.3 million. Onyasikani free here. Onyasikano ato forcing. Or more opposition when you sketch me party forcer. Because can't wait yes, my because your mama fans. Can't wait yes, my men come. Because John Edge fans. John Edge fans. And send ye yes, Sammy Gyamfi so serial callers in almost 276, NDC serial callers, Wama will be 1,500, Wama will be 1,000. In fact, one quite yes, 1,500 every month. And if every month, Sammy Gyamfi 1,500, why your multiplication never 276 a year constituencies, the serial callers a woman or spending almost about 5 million Ghana cedi a year on these people. Where did they get the money from? No accountability, nothing. What they call 48 million, why it's about 53 million for political spending on these people. Our brother teacher 40 krumua, 53 million in 1 year, all in the name of political philanthropies. Menoka say nurse in your Ghana as about 2,500 Ghana cedi. A teacher for a womoka see in Jomoka, Wamoji about 2,800 Ghana cedi. It is a medium fine a year to forcing 53 million or must spend it, 53 million Ghana cedi no must spend it just this Christmas on the Assyria callers and the party. Our money accounted for. It meet your nurse for more than 2,000 a cup for 1 full year. It meet your teacher for more than 1,600 a cup for 1 full year. So right now, when I am asking the pertinent questions that you guys must pay attention to, pay attention to. Instead of feeding the political machinery, Menoka say, and kebetimi atua nurses for 2,000 ka 1 year. And so nurse for kem. Cause man for the say your mama, oh, what's me jenchi apa? Hey, why are you? John, why are the papa? John, why are the pa? Why are they? And there are no two ways about it. No two ways about it. And then a teacher for most of my day in Timo.
Ghana should speak for us. Ghana should speak for us. We have nowhere to sleep, yet we are expected to go back to the classrooms to teach. We know it is our responsibility as teachers to go out there to teach. Where do we sleep? Where do we put our heads? The mattress we lie on, we even bought it on credit. Our creditors are after us. Ghana, the whole world, speak for us. The injustice is too much. We are human beings. We have wives, we have children, we have families, and we have responsibilities as well. Where do we begin our life? Should we begin our lives on paying debts? Is that what we wish for ourselves as a country? Ghana, stand up and speak for us.
I say Ghana, stand up and speak for us. To me, de my party for a cross-board. Tom Ghana sika de my party for. They cannot account for it. Ya normalizing sim hunu ukrumwa. Kadeche ko kasisi ya kadeche de huna maniye. Kadeche Afrifa mensa ko kasisi ya me na me huna maniye. Ya normalizing sim hunu ukrumwa. Ya normalizing sim hunu. And then a dollar back from dollar is do abochi where 12 cedi. There be a Bank of Ghana say that thing. Abochi no kura dollar no so 12 cedi. Enra ya masesem bi enra masesem bi amede kutua school fees 12 cedi. E say ohwehwe bi wo Bank of Ghana no a wono say that thing no a unya. Me hu ye ka dollar back from there and can be reflecting on goods and services. And so kill net abanti dollar na back from and so goods and services there be a one in the bones ho. Ose baba yo go down baba yo. Yentie eye market for yentie o.
Here bacha ya twa go for so anko. For so anko abanti no. For so anko abanti. Last year by this time. But you back 4 million. Omunyanto. A few 100 cedis. Mahama boni bay. Mahama mle ni mo ndi si fo na musuma asunte asama no. Enyina ya do wa ha. Akuya fon kwa na go for so ha. On bag 100 cedis no. Obi mpo nu abato. Obi nu abato. Last year by this time, bag with 4 million. Omuna mkitango to kodi ya tipa ya pesa mpa banchato. Obianya. Ngafi mhe banchi 100 cedi. Ni egufie nye fie kutoa, ni egufie no mapa ka gude ma. Imudi simbia wa fomu.
eti sɛ motie yi a ɛnyɛ me na meka dollar ne de aba fam obiara nka sɛ aba fam paper so uduru paper no so de a dollar ne da 10 saa nkɔ ne 10 level and so for the past 3 months dollar bia me fa o Ghana bia me fa ne 12 and so yɛsɛ dollar duru 10 obi so am sɛ wɔ he na nke nkɔgye bi nhunu yes okopa abochifo yi akyɛ wɔ mu ne kura dollar so abochi get the dollar Bank of Ghana get the rate ni yɛde 10 yi pa yɛtiri ho saa eti maya wɔ mu ɛsesɛn sika kɔ China kɔfa China nneɛma bae wɔn ahunu sɛ dollar ne da 10 ana menti aseɛ nye yi ayi amwaten woni guta ne ayi tag fo eti mu kɔ China no mu ahunu sɛ dollar ne da 10 nti mba mɛtem nneɛma so ebi sɛ dollar ne de paper so pɛ ana da 10 nanso nya duru fo mu na amwaten kopɛ bi di akɔfa nneɛma aba onya ne 12 eti nya de obɛte nneɛma no so since I won't hear the India and your man is still on a board here. Ne boarding because a tro amemu kill net ya bang a amemua ye de fracadam a catamony moon huniama. GoldBod aboka also moka, Bank of Ghana aboka also moka. I feel ye pianco about GoldBod, some Fangosha Bank of Ghana. We some fancy we did look at the chief for Mensa, the Baba Somu. Adam Dibisi. But let me say this once again. MPP munye serious na party no nya akono. Na mon stop this guy and a friend Paul Yandoh say why no? From that joke creating the image of the party as if say nkola good be need. You guys should stop him. If you want to continue to do concert within political sphere, only form as the communications officer. Now onko ye serial caller and as onko ye ono ana de somewhere else. Obo pa onko ye appear stadium ni omani bi. Nobody will have a problem with him if he wants to be appear stadium. Appear stadium or ya dia or no betimiayo or major party be a position. You cannot occupy such a high office as that of a communications director and begin to do the nonsense you've been doing. As you say, many party no bet uncle for party by the banner. We did look at the chief information. I mean, should have been.